What's going on, everybody? Coming to America. Yeah, we're going to talk about it, y'all. Coming to America 2 dropped, and we are so excited because it's been like an amazing movie that many of us have grown up with. It's been a part of the culture. Everything from sexual chocolate, or Randy Watson, right? It's so much that we've grown up and loving on Coming to America. So Coming to America 2 was super highly anticipated. And I really feel that in this episode, we're going to just do a recap of kind of go through some of the things that we saw, that we experienced, we like, or we maybe didn't like, all that kind of thing, all that kind of stuff. And the cool thing about Coming to America 2 is that I feel like it still created a buzz, even though we watched it in the pandemic, right? I think that the messed up part about it is, especially in our culture, like when you go to a big movie, like people are dressing the part, people are excited, people taking pictures, people going with their friends. The energy of the theater is there. So you got people laughing, next to you, behind you. You got people saying comments like, "Go ahead, girl, I see you," all that kind of stuff. Like, y'all know the theaters we go to with certain movies. You know what I mean? We got to have that full experience. So it's like going to a family reunion almost. So folks you don't know, but you know. Now you get it? So I feel like, that was missing with Coming to America 2. But I feel like sequels are always graded on a level of expectation many times that is unfair, right? So I feel a lot of times we grade these sequels, we say we have these over the moon expectations, where the first movie was the element of surprise. The first movie that we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know how good it was going to be. We watched it, we absorbed it, all the characters we fell in love with for the first time. So it was so natural and so, unique for us. But now a sequel is like a sweet potato pie. It still may be good, but you always remember your grandma's sweet potato pie when you first tasted it, right? And you're like, I think I need a little cinnamon, right? Those kind of things I think are just something, that we just, I don't know, like it's part of like what we expect from a sequel. So there are a lot of sequels, and I won't get into all of that today, but they're, rival, or at least will make you think and say, that which one was better? I feel like if a sequel, you have to ask that question or consider it even for a few seconds, it's a quality sequel. This movie, I felt like on its own, when you think about the climate of the time, when you think about this movie was done, 30 years later, I mean, that's a lot, a lot. I mean, to experience and to go through when you're having those same characters now try to be funny, try to be real and authentic, several decades later, So I think we have to take that into consideration when you're talking about Coming to America 2. But I just want to just shout out to Eddie Murphy, for putting this out for us, to see it, to laugh, to experience it, to enjoy it. And I want to just kind of unpack the film with you for a little while, and just leave in the comments. Definitely subscribe. Let me hear what you think. Maybe something I missed. Maybe something that you want to point out that, wow, you agree with. Maybe something I didn't unpack the right way. Hey, leave in the comments. Let me know what you feel, what you like, all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and jump on in. So, of course, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it and you're listening to this, come on now. Come on. You need to go ahead and watch it and come circle back to your boy. But listen, I think the first part of it was, I think this Coming to America, if I could kind of encapsulate it, was like Black Panther meets Hamilton meets Lion King, right? I know that sounds crazy and y'all like, what? But I thought it had so many different elements of that, the music and the kind of the hip hop vibe of a Hamilton with the Black Panther, the daughters who were fierce, showing Black women who could fight, who had them hands, you know what I mean? And those kind of elements and just like how beautiful and smart they were from that Black Panther movie that we saw. And I think it just had like that Lion King, because it had that really weird looking dude who was in those scenes and you just want to look at him. I believe it was played by Arsenio Hall, if I'm not mistaken. He was the Lion King. He was that dude who was like, look at the stars, Simba's coming home or something. Like he was that guy. So it had a lot of different elements, but my probably personal favorite part of the movie, I'm not gonna hold you. There's a lot of good stuff to unpack here, but the funeral. Let me tell you right now, there is nothing blacker than planning your own funeral and attending. James Earl Jones. Let me say, the king, he was like, look, I'm not going to hold you, bro. I need to plan my funeral, and I need to be there, right? And the thing about the funeral was that it was the dream funeral. Like, who better to eulogize the voiceover king, which is James Earl Jones, than the man he passed the torch over to, the GOAT, the new GOAT of voiceover, Morgan Freeman. If Morgan Freeman is eulogizing you, you've won. You know what I mean? Like Morgan Freeman, like we've seen so many films with just Morgan Freeman's voice, and we know, like, and it just like makes you feel better, right? When Morgan Freeman was like, and here's a song for the king, and we would like, Envogue comes out. We haven't seen, when was the last time you seen Envogue perform? I'll wait. Take a minute. Take a time. We haven't seen Envogue perform since I don't know when, right? We know they've had their ups and downs and everything like that, but Envogue has been a classic group that we've enjoyed growing up with songs like Never Gonna Get It and all that kind of stuff like that. And to see them come out and perform and sing, what a king, what a mighty good king. Like, that was so clever. That was so funny. It was so fresh and original. I didn't see that coming. You know what I mean? And it made me ask, like, if I could have somebody like singing my funeral to make you hype or whatever like that, like who would I have? Like, who would you guys have at your funeral if you could attend it? Like, you was like at the end, right? And you could pick somebody to sing at your funeral. Like, who would that be? I don't know. It just made me think, and all of that. And then you get Salt and Pepa coming out. That just took it to a different level. Salt and Pepa, push it real good. And they came out on the song of What a Mighty Good King and was rapping for the king. And he was like, okay. James Earl Jones was like, I'm a bop with you. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm a bop with you. Like that was such a fun funeral, which it made something that was so sad, such a celebration of his life, right? And I think that was just so unique, the way that the film unpacked that and, and like showed us that. I thought that was beautiful, right? And then you have Morgan Freeman talking about like after you die, nothing. Because if anybody knows an older person in your family, right? They like, listen, after I pass, y'all ain't gonna know how to cook none of this food. You know what I mean? Everything's gonna go. Like that's like it encapsulated like what we probably have heard, from generations. Just listening to some of the older people, they like, I mean, I don't know what you're gonna do. I watch y'all's kids. I do this for you. I don't know what else could I do? What else could Nana do? So I thought that was really funny. The Morgan Freeman's eulogy there, but to cap the funeral off, somebody to say Gladys. Listen, Gladys Knight. Let's give it up. Gladys Knight went from rocking verses with Patti LaBelle, right? Y'all remember that night with verses and Gladys was just rocking with her, singing all her songs and everything, that we remembered, and some songs we didn't remember, right? But she was just rocking it. Patti LaBelle was changing shoes every 5 minutes, and we haven't seen Gladys since then. So to be able to see Gladys perform at the king's funeral, and she goes, the midnight train to Zamunda? What? I'm leaving? And let me tell you, this is when, again, the blackest thing you could ever do, right? Because when the king was like, yo, I'm leaving. Look, I can't talk. I got my girl Gladys singing for me. You know what I mean? Literally, I can die now because Gladys is telling me I can go, right? And it made me think, like, who would you want to hear from? If your last moments of your life and you had somebody could sing you a song and sing you to sleep, who would you want to hear from? Me personally, I think it might be her. I'm not going to hold you. Her voice is butter on toast, and I would probably just be like, I can go now. Yeah, I'm just going to go rest in Jesus. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just think that was just such a moment, and then having her backup singers when like, why are we doing this? Like, all that kind of stuff. But shout out to Gladys Knight. She is a living legend, and we just love her so much. So I thought the funeral was just like, I mean, I don't know. I thought maybe they could do it a little later in the film, but maybe early was good. You know, it showed like so many funny elements. And like I said, to be able to laugh and to like be hype and fun and that kind of stuff at a funeral, like it's something that we normally don't see, because a lot of funerals can be very somber and all that kind of stuff. So it was just like a really refreshing thing to see three artists, Gladys Knight, Salt and Pepa, Envogue, who we don't normally see and who we all love. Like they're beloved within the culture. So shout out to the funeral. That was like probably my favorite scene of the movie. Next up, I feel like the scene that like really had some impact was with like Wesley Snipes' character, you know, who played General Izzy, right? Wesley Snipes, I don't know if y'all know, he's a very talented actor. I feel like sometimes we see him in certain action movies and we get, you know, we typecast him. But Wesley Snipes has like acting chops. Like he can really act. And he really became that character. You know, I think the cool thing like with General Izzy, like he was like the HBCU band leader. You know what I mean? Like anybody know Howard, FAMU, Southern, like you know what I mean? Like these amazing bands, these battle of the bands. Like, no, that's the band leader. He came in this there, like he just, we're gonna do this, right? And I think that was like really cool. So he mixed like the band leader with like a military general. Like what? Like who does that? And he was entertaining. He was trying to scheme to overthrow Zamunda, yet he wasn't like too threatening. Like you actually laughed and you were amused by him. You know, I think that was kind of like an interesting take on it, because he played the villain in the movie, but he was a villain that made you laugh and amused you in a weird way, right? So I think Wesley Snipes to me was like probably one of the best new characters that they introduced in the film. And just like going down the list of the new characters that I really, really thought really made an impact and I really love, like he's definitely up there. I also like, let me get her name right, Nomzamo Mubatha, who played Mirabim, right? She is fine. She is charming, encouraging, courageous, supportive, and she can give you a dope haircut. Let me tell you, ladies, look, a lot of y'all talking about, you know, men talking about they want a woman who can cook. Listen, if you're like supportive, you fine, you doing that, you encouraging, but you can cut me up, you can give me a nice little fade with an edge up. Who can do that? like she won it. She lost me at one point when she said that Beauty Shop was her favorite movie, but then she regained it when she said she wants to open up her own business and women in Zamunda were not able to be business owners. I was like, okay, I'm back on your team, because your movie, you know what I mean? I don't know, she might not have saw like Love and Basketball in them, you know, she didn't see all those other movies that were way better, right? But I just thought that she was like a low-key like rising star of the film, and I look forward to seeing more of her work, because I thought she was really good in her role. She like held it down. She was encouraging to this guy who really was down on his luck and trying to figure out a lot of different things as he's just been reunited with his father. But she gave him his own voice. And I love that, because I feel like you don't always find that with a woman who just like, or a man, you know, who like really empowers you to have your own voice and be like, look, I know this is tradition, but like, yo, be the best of you. Like, I believe in you. And I think that was just a beautiful part of the film. So she's my second favorite character from the movie. Next up, I'm gonna go with Tiana Taylor, right? Tiana Taylor, who played Bo Poto, right? So she actually, let me just have a minute to pause. I'm talking to my fellas for a second. Tiana Taylor has the best body in the game. Okay, I don't know who her trainer is. I think she should be training the trainers, because Tiana Taylor, she is killing it. She is killing the game, right? She is the body MVP. I mean, I don't know. And she was just so mesmerizing in this role. I think that, you know, like just her dance and the way she danced and her little, you know, they recreated the Prince song and that kind of stuff. That was kind of cool. Like, I just think that Tiana Taylor, like, I mean, when she comes in and she does her dance and just her level of like sensuality, the way she looks and stuff, it just takes over the screen. So I'm gonna tell you, Amon Shumpert, her husband, he ain't really been playing NBA basketball that well since, for a minute. But he like, man, I'm the MVP. I got Tiana Taylor, bro. Look, I got Tiana Taylor, millions in the bank. I ain't tripping off y'all. Look, I don't care if I average 0.7 points a game. Like, I won the game, So I just thought that was really cool. Tiana Taylor was actually, a new addition to the Coming to America franchise. Leslie Jones as Mary, right? A lot of y'all have heard feedback saying y'all thought she was extremely funny. Leslie Jones, who we know her from Saturday Night Live, like she really did a great job. And like in so many ways, we couldn't believe that like Eddie Murphy, like his character like was with her like back in the day. We like, how did that happen? But the way that they described it, the way that Semi was just being Semi, Arsenio's character, like, and who set the whole thing up, that was kind of funny to like have a flashback. And I love how the movie did that, where a flashback and it would show you like just different things that, that they saw, they uncovered as the movie went along. Like, it's a flashback of what Coming to America was and now what it is. For those of, who didn't really know or who don't remember some of those scenes, I thought that was really great because I watched Coming to America 1 the night before Coming to America 2 just to refresh myself. And I had some stuff I was like, I don't remember that, And I've seen the movie, so many times. So it was just really cool to see Leslie Jones, in that role, Well, I think one of my favorite scenes with her and the Queen, where they were just doing the Humpty dance. And they was a little tipsy at the bar. That was kind of funny. Just seeing them like come together, how embracive she was, just embracing the Queen, and the Queen was looking like uncomfortable, like, girl, I don't even know you, and all that kind of stuff. And they did a little twist for the ladies when the man in the bathtub and that kind of stuff, and who was bathing her, like, kind of shifting the patriarchal society, if you will, of having a woman in a power position, and he's bathing her, right? So I thought that was really cool. And I just think that the bather thing, like, you've made it. I'm gonna say it like this right now. If you have private bathers that just bathing you every day and just that's their job, like, you've made it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about your private plane and your designer clothes. What about a bather? You have bathers. Like, you know what I mean? That's when you really made it. That's when you really have gotten to the essence of everything. You don't even know what soap you're using anymore. They got that covered for you. You know what I mean? The shampoo, conditioner, they got it all for you, So I thought that was really cool to see Leslie Jones' character. And then Tracy Morgan as Uncle Reem was the perfect uncle from the streets, right? Everybody usually has somebody in their family or somebody, that in your family who's from the streets and who's always trying to give you that like street talk. Like, nah, this is how you do it, Playboy. You want to do it like this. You got to go flip this and this. You be like, what's he talking about, right? So it's always like that the ghetto uncle, right? So I think that he was really good in the role. Tracy Morgan, shout out to him. I think that he added some different flavor. And it really, like, on a lighter note, it actually made sense because I feel like a lot of young black men especially may have not had their fathers in their lives, but they've had uncles, who've taken that role up. Black women and black men who've had uncles who stepped up or grandfathers who stepped up to that role to be instrumental. Like, I didn't raise this child, but I'm going to raise this child, right? In the absence of them having a father. So I thought it playfully gave an impactful statement in the movie of something that we deal with in our society and in our culture. I thought that that was a really cool thing. And then Kiki Lane as Mika, right? Breakout star. I know many of you guys saw her from Bill Street Can Talk. And her storyline highlighted, definitely like just women getting overlooked in our society. And especially in certain cultures, like women are not, able to do this or able to do that. And I'm smart, I'm talented, I've waited my turn, I've done everything the right way. And as a queen, like, come on, I'm a black queen. Like, she's a black princess, like ready to take over, and leads Zamunda as the heir to the throne. And I like how they just positioned that where they're like, like she actually got that position, where, Akeem had awakening, especially like, talking to his father-in-law and things of that nature, which is another scene I thought was really, really important because many times, men or women whose parent is deceased, that in-law can like fill the gaps a lot of times of what you're going through, in your relationship, in life, just able to bounce some ideas off of and kind of get that wisdom. And I think that was really cool to like see that, to experience that. I really love that part of the movie. It was a really, really powerful scene in that sense. So those are some of the things. So some of the misses, I felt like Samuel L. Jackson should have been in the movie. I felt like maybe he should have came into the church when the new heir to the throne and his future wife was going to get married in the ghetto church with the old school pastor. I thought Samuel L. Jackson should have came in right there, try to hold up the church, and then that's when Akeem comes in and he jacks him up again. It was like, boy, you ain't know, I still got hands out here. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna come up here. I'm protecting my son and them, right? I thought that would have been like a really like funny scene. I think he was definitely missing in the movie. I don't know why he didn't make it. I don't know, it's all these things, contracts and all that kind of stuff. He's a much bigger star now. So maybe they just couldn't afford him anymore. Like Samuel Jackson has made more movies than anybody. So I think that might have been one of the things I think that kind of made it better. I think that them bringing Sexual Chocolate back, them bringing the barbershop guys back, I thought that was cool. Them bringing the girls who was rapping in the club back at the end, I thought that was cool. I was upset that DeVito, who I'm a fan of, didn't do my song, your number one all-time hit, Fall on You. That would have been. I would have been in my living room, just like done talking. Like I would have been like jamming with him. So DeVito, man. I know you want to do some new stuff, and everybody knows that one. I guess I wanted to Fall. So I was kind of disappointed on that. I ain't gonna hold y'all, but I want to hear from you guys. Like, what are some of the things that you thought Coming to America maybe missed the mark on? And some of the things you really, really enjoyed. Some of the things you really, really like. Who were some of your favorite new characters that they introduced into the Coming to America 2, and all that kind of stuff. I thought that was cool. And Eddie Murphy still look good, man. I don't know what his regimen is, but a long time later, he still looks like he did like back in the day with the Coming to America 1. So shout out to Eddie Murphy, GOAT in this comedy making game for so many different years. So I don't know. Like, I know I've heard some feedback online that you guys thought Coming to America 2, some of you guys felt like it missed the mark. It wasn't as funny. It wasn't as engaging. I don't know. I was entertained the whole time. There might have been some slow parts here and there, but overall, I thought they did an excellent job. It just really bringing some new flavor, beautiful colors. Let's talk about the costume design. The costume design was amazing. Throughout the movie, it was just beautiful colors, to like highlight African culture and the beauty of the continent. Like I felt like that was really, really cool to see, in so many different ways. So I just felt like that was another thing that really highlighted. It was just like a colorful movie that you saw, a lot of different things. Another miss I thought, and I'm a huge fan, Trevor Noah is my guy. Like Trevor Noah is that guy like I want to invite to the game night, right? You know what I'm saying? Like Trevor Noah is just cool. He's funny. He's really deep on certain things. He gets a chance to talk about like political things and just culture things and racial things. Like I just feel like it was his role in this was kind of a nothing burger. It kind of left a little bit to be empty to me because of who I know Trevor Noah is and his ability. So I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it was the writing or they try to do too much with his character, but I felt like Trevor Noah could have really been much better in this. Maybe if they positioned him in a different way, So that was another thing I felt like from a new character standpoint, it didn't really land to me. But I think Trevor Noah is awesome. Shout out to him. The Daily Show, all he's done, his stand-ups, I think are brilliant. But I just feel like maybe he was underutilized or misutilized in this film. But in closing, I just feel like Coming to America 2 did what it said it was going to do. It was funny. It was entertaining. Like those are the two things I think it did a really, really, really good job at. I think it is watchable again. Now, and being a guy from Prince George's County, the guy who played the heir to the throne, Akeem's son in the movie, he's from Prince George's County, right? Northwestern High School. Like I grew up with people from Northwestern High School, so that was a cool thing, Prince George's County, aka Pretty Girl County. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you don't know, now you know, right? So I think that was a cool thing too, just to have a local guy in the film. And we haven't probably really seen him in a lot, so hopefully that gives him an opportunity to have his breakout performance and continue to, do what he does best. But overall, I just felt like Coming to America 2 was exciting, and hopefully you guys did. Definitely want to hear your comments, see how you liked it. Shout out to my Patreons. Y'all keep it going, keep it rolling. We are doing some really great things. So if you are not part of the Patreon community, you're not a part of the Kickback crew, we want to give you just an invitation to come in and join us. You can go to patreon.com/kickback conversations. So that's all I have, y'all. Hope y'all enjoy it. We out. Peace.